Need some coins for golden tickets? Head on over to rockbottomcoins.com for the safest and cheapest coins anywhere. Use code ZERK at checkout for a 10% discount on your order.
The whole thing wobbin', wobbin', wobbin'. When I come around, got the whole thing wobbin'.
What is going on, guys? It is Xerxes coming at you today with another YouTube video, and today we have a ton of Madden 19 gameplay information to go over. Now, I also have the Madden 19 trailer, which should be up on my channel at the time you guys are seeing this, but we are going to get right into this blog. Madden deep dive, gameplay, and real player motion. So let's take a look at all this. As you guys can see, a nice little screenshot of Sean Lee going into tackle Barkley. Now it says gameplay in Madden NFL 19 was developed with two primary objectives: player control across the field and immerse NFL experience from start to finish. Now, what does that mean exactly with player control across the field? Hopefully that means more fluidity, kind of when you're moving around. To achieve these objectives, our goal is to deliver the most significant animation upgrade in Madden history. Madden NFL 19 introduces a package of features known as Real Player Motion, featuring authentic player movement, more player control, and responsiveness and player signature behaviors that will immerse players into the NFL each and every game. So I guess that means if you guys are using the Bengals and you're using Vontaze Burfict, he's going to start hammering people right in the head. Besides that, though, pretty interesting stuff. But if you're using, say, Deion Jones, Ryan Shazier as a user card in Madden 18 or Madden 19, and maybe an Ultimate Team as well, or should be Madden Ultimate Team as well. Basically, they're going to be like the best users in the game because, of course, their agility is really high, they're extremely fast players, and it should kind of go by their players. So if you're using like a heavy set linebacker, like a... trying to think of like a big linebacker, like a James Harrison, but he's actually retired now. But still, James Harrison kind of a bigger linebacker. He's not going to be as easy to move around the field. Now we have Real Player Motion, Locomotion. Player Locomotion or run cycles is the feature that is going to have the biggest impact on Madden gameplay. The Locomotion system has been rebuilt using technological innovations from across a variety of EA games and was designed in a way that intuitively balances the line between responsiveness and authenticity. The new Locomotion system delivers the precision of making sharp cuts versus rounded turns based on button inputs. Want to make a sharp cut up the field before stepping out of bounds near the sideline? Let go of the right trigger, acceleration burst, and move the left stick in the desired direction to cut sharply on a dime. Want to run at full speed? Making minor movements to avoid losing momentum? Hold down the right trigger or R2 on PlayStation, acceleration burst to carve through the defense. Managing the acceleration burst mechanic will have the biggest impact on the way you play Madden. When used, the acceleration burst will take your player to top speed based on his ratings, but prevent you from making drastic direction changes without losing speed. So, this year more than ever, basically, it really matters if you're going to hold the right trigger as soon as you get the ball. I know a lot of people do that as soon as they get the ball. They just hold the right trigger so they can run faster. And some people don't do that. They wait for a hole to break open or see if they have to juke somebody out to do it. Me personally, I think I always hold the right trigger. But when not accelerating and using only the left stick to move your player, you can make sharp, precise cuts and drastic direction changes but cannot run at top speed. This change in speed transitions allows you to be in full control over how you want your player to move on the field, while offering the most visually authentic locomotion we've ever had. So basically, if you hold the right trigger down, you're not going to be able to do the special jukes and special spins and, have a better chance of breaking tackles. In addition to the movement benefits, players' run cycles will be visually and functionally separated based on each player's height, weight, position, and rating. So of course, weight, height, stuff like that actually matters. There are multiple versions of run cycles in Madden 19 so that each player will feel and look unique. A big bruising fullback may have to take a few extra steps to make that sharp cut up the field as opposed to a short, shifty scat back who can quickly put his foot in the ground and go. Now here's the different run styles. I'm going to imagine they're going to go over one cut. Speaking of putting your foot in the ground and going, one cut is a new ball carrier move that does just that by leveraging the skill of the acceleration burst with the precision of the new player Locomotion. Inspired by one cut backs in zone schemes and farther supported by Minnesota Vikings wide receiver Stephon Diggs' miracle play in the playoffs. This mechanic unlocks the ability to burst out a controlled cut on a drastic direction change up the field. When making these cuts, there will be a small timing window open to activate a faster version of the acceleration burst as the outside plant foot hits the turf, simulating the burst ball carriers get when sticking their foot in the ground and hitting the hole. But be aware, this mechanic is so powerful it comes with a heavy stamina hit, so you have to be smart about when to deploy the move, as you'll most likely only have the energy to pull off one in a single play. The speed and effectiveness of one cut is of course tailored to fit each player's individual ratings and scales for your difficulty level. So basically, if you're using a very good rack receiver like Antonio Brown, Stephon Diggs, someone like that, you catch the ball in an aggressive catch, you somehow don't get tackled by the cornerback in the way, or just in general in a rack catch, you can get a nice little speed boost and you'll be even faster than I think your max speed. So that's kind of interesting. Strafe burst, the defender counter to one cut strafe burst is very similar in its look and feel. Basically the opposite. When holding left trigger to strafe on defense, you can accelerate out of the strafe and into a sprint by releasing the strafe button and quickly activating the acceleration burst on right trigger or R2. Use the same timing window system as one cut, and match this mechanic will give your defender the ability to make a play on the one cut in open field while carrying a similar stamina hit. So definitely pretty interesting. Branching special moves. In Madden 19, you can chain together ball carrier special moves and make a smooth transition from one to another before it's completed. You want to quickly transition from a juke to a spin and back to a juke. Real player motion allows the freedom and creativity for our players to take their best shot at putting out some of the best highlight videos ever seen. So if you're using a running back, as you guys can see, Dion Lewis or LaShawn McCoy, someone really slippery, this is going to be extremely fun to see. So in my opinion, Madden 19 is definitely going to be the year to use the small shifty players. You may not want to use the Calvin Johnsons, the 6'5" receivers, the 6'8" glitchy tight end. You might want to use some small people this year, but again, have to see exactly how the aggressive catch works, how the high point fades work, and then we'll kind of decide on that. Hit the hole, traditionally one of the areas of the game where our players felt like they commonly lost control, is when navigating through tight gaps in the trenches on running plays. Real player motion allows us to make a new ball carrier mechanic to ensure more player control at this critical point in the run game, known as hit the hole. This is a right stick mechanic that is a contextual extension to the existing juke system. When running through the line, if you want to make a quick direction change to get through a gap in the line, flick the right stick towards the gap and you'll see your ball carrier move a contextually appropriate direction change into that gap. That is pretty awesome, if you ask me, because I know that's kind of a big thing when it comes to that. Push the pile, but in the same areas, hit the hole. Again, I'd imagine if you have a bigger running back, this kind of helps once you gauge your running back into the back of a blocker to just push forward or guide the blocking system, the blocking engagement out of your way to gain space. Simply hold the right stick up as you make contact with the blocker to get into a push the pile interaction. Based on the player's ratings of all three players involved, the ball carrier, the blocker, and defender, there are a variety of results for these interactions. 3 include versions that fit a big, bruising running back who might truck right into the defender as he's engaged and knock him down. Versions for smaller, shifty backs who can just place their hand in the back of the blocker and guide him out of the way. And of course, situations for the defender to tackle the ball carrier as he's trying to push through the line. Catching improvements. For Madden 19, we really want to address some of our players' feedback. Common player feedback around getting pulled into catch interactions you didn't ask for, or watching a receiver jump high in the air and not being able to defend him when you're trying to knock the ball out. To address those, we've introduced a new mid-air collision system. Defenders who have more control to decide between interacting with the receiver during the catch or afterwards. Play receiver is all about hitting the receiver hard to make sure he doesn't come down with the ball. That's pretty interesting. Animation quality, in addition to making the game feel authentic, we also have done a lot of work on making the game look authentic. So, some more animation stuff. Tackling, we're looking at the core fundamentals in Madden. Tackling has far and away gotten the biggest visual upgrade, and I can tell that by the gameplay trailer. If you guys haven't seen it, go check out that video that I uploaded. It is disgusting how hard these people hit. Our players receive tackles influenced by momentum, speed, and weight, which you definitely notice. Conversely, if the running back is trying to change directions and gets popped by a big linebacker running downhill, the running back will take the force of that hit and fall down in the appropriate manner. We also invested heavily on improving our tackling physics system so that players who add on into a gang tackle or get involved in the play late can find the correct animation using interactions. They will no longer go into a ragdoll state or fall down while looking unaware of the game situation. That is pretty awesome. Let's head on down to the, actually something about hit sticks. Some new features also come in with the hit stick improvements. You can now attempt to hit stick a receiver during a catch, but be careful not to be earlier. You would be flagged for pass interference. Finally, pass interference in the game. Signatures, beyond the features we built for the in-game physical immersion, we also wanted to deliver some personality to go with it. These two features we're including in Madden 19 that deliver on player signature, QB pre-play signature, and user-controlled celebrations. We studied films, hours of film, and watched QBs across the league to identify what makes each QB unique in his behaviors and mannerism before the snap. Aaron Rodgers adjusts his thigh pad all the time. Patrick Mahomes is very deliberate when making pre-snap adjustments. This is pretty cool. And user-controlled celebrations, you guys can see right stick up, team/group celebration. A lot of people are going to be doing that. I know I am. Swagger, steal a signature animation from the opponent team. That is pretty funny. Coverage, made several additions and improvements. We see this every single year, and honestly, it really doesn't make a difference, but you guys can go over this if you want to really quickly. You can pause the video and read all that. Against a formation where a slot receiver is present, if the slot receiver runs a quick out, the defender in cover 4 quarters will handle this route with the quarter flat player. And you guys can see all the information. So a ton of Madden 19 gameplay information. If I skipped over anything, just pause the video and go back and read it. But if you guys enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe, and comment. Definitely very excited for Madden 19. And of course, if we get any more Madden 19 gameplay info or just Madden 19 info in general, I'll be one of the first people with the videos up. So make sure you guys turn the notification bell on and subscribe if you guys are not already subscribed. And I will see you guys next time.